Hello, and once again, welcome to the Weightier Matters. And as I've already been explained, this is a trans-leadership renaissance platform. That means we engage thoughts and minds, and we do critical analysis of the issues. And that is what exactly we are doing. Today, we are looking at a specific issue that some people often raise, and then we'll try to let you know why we may not be doing what you want us to do. We've had quite a number of representations that why don't you just let this thing go? Why don't you just keep quiet? Maybe I'll give you a bit of a background, but before that, let me give you a historical, scriptural antecedents. You know, at a point in time, Israel was coming under siege. And Esther was in the comfort of what she was doing. And then Mordecai stood and requested of Esther to do something. Initially, Esther was just thinking about herself. And you understand why I'm saying this. But then Mordecai said, Esther, do not think that because you are at the king's palace, if any issue comes, you and your family will be saved. No. That Obviously, salvation will come. God will make sure that there's salvation. But you and your family may be held responsible. It may not go well with you. That's just a summary of what Mordecai said. So there was an issue. Mordecai could have kept quiet. Esther could have kept quiet. And in their position, just find solace. Now, I've already explained to some of you that initially, when there was the first strike, and for those of you who may not be used to this program is a build-up of a book I wrote, Trans-Leadership and then Structure-wise. It's a build-up of that. So if you've never encountered me, this may be the first time. That's okay. You get to understand later on. But in doing that, there was a first, what I call first strike, where knowing very well that I had not done what they said I had done. I mean, that was the situation. But we took it lightly. And there were so many issues that came out of that. It was not pleasant. When I kept quiet, the kind of things that came out, how God came in. So maybe this time, it's better we speak. And we are speaking because we know that God has given us a mandate. And if we do not, salvation will definitely come. But we will be held responsible. I feel a godly responsibility on us that many hearts are broken. Do you get me? Many hearts are broken. Many hearts are pierced. People have lost hope in the church. People have lost hope in leadership. People have lost hope because they are not seeing justice. And that is why we are looking at this. I recall when the second strike came, when I was dismissed, again, for reasons I think are very unfair. I said to myself that, look, let me just forget about it. But listen to me. That's why I brought in the Esther thing. When I was there when one big man called me and said, Apostle, as for this one, we need to do something about it. We need to test the constitution. We need to do this. I listened to him and I said, Master, me, I just want to, I'm not going to do it. And I meant it. I was not going to do it. I told him respectfully, I will just go quietly. Either that same day in the evening or the following day, another, even a higher person called me and said, question, this one, and these are different personalities, and then said, I need to take action on that. I was again being a bit reluctant. Then he used the word. And by inclination, it's not about you. It's about the church. As for you, can be comfortable and live well, but it's about the church. It's about the destiny of the church. Then he had that, if you don't do anything, I will never forgive you. And then it is like Mordecai telling Esther that, look, if you don't do something, help will come. And that spoke to me a lot that, hey, if such people realize that there is a problem that I must take advantage of my own trauma to deal with the issue, then I better be mindful. But still, I was reflecting on it. Then one of my godfathers, another senior person, I'm telling you about 3 events. Now, when he came and I told him the issue that, look, this thing, he felt that, oh, Kwesi, let it just leave. Let it just fly. And then I told him the story and he said, what? Got to cry, Got to cry. Got to cry. And this thing cannot be allowed. So those of you who think that, why didn't I keep quiet? Why am I not keeping quiet? Why am I talking? It's not just about me. But there are people out there, even before I wrote the book, who felt that this injustice must stop. And then when we shared, people were willing, as I told during the launch, those of you who listen, I keep repeating some of these things because this may be your first time of listening. These were men of God who thought that this was so unfair. In fact, that was the first time one of them reminded me that even Paul appealed to Caesar. So sometimes, depending on the situation, we could appeal. But of course, I didn't want to appeal to Caesar. I didn't want to go to court. And I've said that. But that does not mean that we should not deal with the issues. So with this call and me reflecting on it and seeing issues, other people's issues, I thought that justice must prevail. And then listen to this. I'll read this, then we'll come again. Listen to this. Take your time and listen to this. When we say justice, remember, we are dealing with weightier matters. And we have said that per scripture, the things that we should focus as a church, as a corporate organization, as the head of government, as a political party, in any aspect of our life, especially if you're a Christian, then you have an obligation to focus on the weightier matters. And one of the weightier matters is justice. So in everything we do, as I am communicating with you, I need to be fair. I need to be just. And the same thing with you. And listen to the definition of justice. Justice is just behavior and treatment. In other words, your behavior should be fair, should be just. And not just behavior. Sometimes we have very good behavior as Christians, but the way we treat people. So when we talk of justice, it says that your behavior, the way you behave, should be just. And the way you treat people. The way you treat people. And then listen to the continuation. It says, the quality of being fair and reasonable. So sometimes we lose sight of certain reality. That some people's behavior may be very holy. The person may be very spirit-filled, walking in the spirit, speaking in tongues, but his or her behavior may not be just or may not be reasonable. You sit down, you think of it, oh, no, this is not reasonable. And when things are being done, you evaluate and you think it's not reasonable, we need to rise and speak against it and make sure that things are done fairly. You weigh this, and you know that this is fair. And then also there's a bit of reason into this. So those of you who are wondering why I've been speaking and all those things, last week I said that I want to emphasize it. But let me say this. I've seen some of you make quotes. I've seen some of you send messages. I've seen all kinds of comments on various platforms. But I can assure you that I know some of you may genuinely be making this comment because you don't have the full information. I respect that. Some of you too, naturally, will be making comment out of mischief. That is also fine. Whatever the purpose, I'm okay with it. Some of you too, as I said last time, are being inspired by darkness to have an onslaught on the church. And so if you are a child of God, don't fall for that. I would encourage you to critically listen to what I'm sharing with you, the issues that I'll be raising, and be just to me by being reasonable. Try and reason with me. Show justice to me by trying to be fair to the facts that I'll be laying bare before you. But be minded that we will not be silent. So I've given you the reason why I will not keep quiet. I've given you the reason why we are doing what we are doing, and we believe that God is going to help us. I'll take one of your questions, and I will try and respond to it. So let's get the questions from Nana Kofi Adoma. He is asking, was ACE a new company in the church, or was it already familiar to the church? Who is the elder who said there are many ways to kill a cat? Is he a Ghanaian? Who was the first delegation to South Africa? Who was the second delegation? Nana Kofi Adoma. I mean, asking these questions makes me know that really read the book And I'm picking some of these questions. They are all on social media, so you will see them there. I'll be responding to them from time to time. First of all, yes, ACE as a company, I don't want to use the word known, but they've been using the company. And if you read my book, there are so many works that ACE has done for the Church of Pentecost at the Pentecost Convention Center. ACE has done work for the prisons. Yes, they've done a few things for the church. Perhaps they didn't know it was the same company that was working at Bolga. So yes, the managing director and his work is known to the church. Who is the other who said there are many ways of killing a cat? You see, in authoring the book, I tried to avoid specific names, maybe just out of, just how to avoid certain names. Some of the names too that I had to intentionally bring them out for a purpose. Some of them I had to bring the description. But as much as possible, I would, for now, until there's a new development, everybody whose name I was very specific and I mentioned the person's name in the book, I want to keep it at that. Those that I did not, I described them in alphabets, I would also want to keep it like that. Those that I used symbols and idioms to describe them, I want to leave it at that. So the officer who said there are many ways of killing a cat, I'll talk about that story later. Allow me to just use the elder who said there are many ways of killing a cat. Who was the first delegation to South Africa? That one, out of respect to the delegation, I intentionally kept it off the book, but it is information available if you want to get it. But out of deference, I did it on purpose. So once I kept it out of the book, I think it's only fair that I also keep it out of the conversation. But if at any time there's the need to really mention it, it's not secret. We will not have a problem mentioning it. So first delegation, second, then obviously the second delegation too would have the same answer. So Nana Kofi Adoma, thank you so much for your question. I also have one by Spicy, who thinks that I'm being a hypocrite. He's amazed with my level of hypocrisy. And he's also saying that obviously me too, when having been a leader of the church, I have taken decisions. So the question I'm asking will also be asked of me. Brilliant. That is exactly what I'm looking out for. That the questions I am asking will be a questions to everybody. But unfortunately, Spicy, I'm not Spicy, I'm not being hypocritical. That's one of the things I don't like, hypocrisy. When I see hypocrisy, I don't like it. So I will not intend be a hypocrite. So I'm not being hypocritical. All the things that I'm talking about are things I believe in. Some of you may think that I just started this thing because I was dismissed. No. Right from youth ministry, those who knows me as a youth director, I have stood against certain injustice, certain unfairness, certain things I thought were not the weightier matters. Even quite recently, before I was dismissed, at the HES meeting, I spoke about these things. So I'm not being hypocritical. Spicy, I'm not being hypocritical. I'm just thinking about the church. I'm just concerned about broken hearts, broken homes, people, and we should understand this. Let's get this very clear. You may think you are touching me or touching this pastor or this elder or this individual, but that touch could affect many people, could affect the family, the children, could affect friends. It could destroy people's faith. So when we are taking decisions about people, all I'm saying is that let's be careful. Let's not ride on some invisibility as if we are not humans. But let us have a heart of justice, mercy, and faith. That is all I'm calling for. And so if I'm doing something which is not based on justice, mercy, and faith, it doesn't mean I'm right. You should be able to draw my attention. And together we build each other up. So Spicy, thanks for your question. But the truth is that I am not, and I will not be a hypocrite. All right, so we are able to take just these two comments for now because of time. Hopefully next week we'll still deal with some of your comments. I would just want to invite you, if you also have some experiences to share, if you want to contribute, if you want to make suggestions, things that can help us become better, you are more than welcome to make this input. Write it on my wall, write it on our Facebook page, Twitter, all the platforms, and we'll be glad to engage with it. It's a conversation, and God richly bless you. So that has been the Weightier Matters. Hopefully we'll come your way again next week. Bye-bye.